In the opening scene, we see Emily, a beautiful young lady who owns a butterfly rearing business. Emily just received a call from Adam, informing her that the wedding, at which she was supposed to release some butterflies, has already begun, and she is still missing. She instructs him to keep them entertained while she enters her flight building, where she cultivates and stores her butterflies. She enters and finds out that one of her devices is not working. She prays it will work today, and breaks it down. Later, after fixing it, the device begins to function properly. After ensuring the building is in good condition, she begins her butterfly collection. When she finishes picking the butterflies, she rushes down to meet Adam. Getting to the wedding, she explains to Adam that she is sorry she is late, and that her lateness is due to something that went wrong. He wants them to avoid making any errors in their current task, given that they have only received half of the money. They then transport the butterflies to the wedding. They sneak to the front of the audience and release the butterflies when the priest asks the couple to kiss. Everyone celebrates the beautiful scene, and the couples continue kissing each other. Emily begins to feel a surge of emotions as she witnesses this. Adam notices her and inquires about her well-being, but she conceals her emotions by stating that she is simply happy for the bride. Adam, however, is aware that she is attempting to conceal her past pain. She denies it and claims she is over it, but this is a lie that Adam can easily spot. He tells her he can handle the wedding alone, but she changes the topic and tells him they should go and prepare for the birthday they are having the next day. The next day, Emily is with Amanda, the birthday celebrant, and some kids. She is educating them on butterflies while also showing them a sample. While she is asking questions, she asks one that the children are unable to answer, and the father of the celebrants answers from the back. Amanda, on the other hand, stops him from interacting by informing him that Emily is asking her and her friends. Emily, however, notices Garrett, Amanda's single father. She continues teaching the kids, and at some point, she asks them to move close to the butterflies. While the kids are busy with the butterflies, Emily sees a party where they are releasing butterflies in the neighborhood and notices someone. She is supposed to be the one to host the party, but Mandy, her competitor, has gone behind her to take it over from her. Garrett then confirms that he also received a flyer from her, and her services are cheaper than Emily's. Emily says that her price is low for a reason, and she also starts to get closer to Mandy. Emily and Mandy then start talking like rivals who are ready to win a contest. Emily talks about teaching the client about butterflies before releasing them. Out of spite, Mandy responds, saying she will instead release more butterflies. This touches a nerve for Emily, and she rushes to her car to bring out more butterflies. Garrett tries to stop her because he only requested 25 butterflies, but she informs him the extra service is on the house. She keeps staring at Mandy, seeing how excited the kids are while she is releasing her butterflies. This pushes her to the edge, and she calls the kids to release her own butterflies. This keeps happening until Emily runs out of butterflies to excite the kids. Such a waste of time and resources on a petty battle. Adam asks how the event went, and Emily starts explaining everything that transpired between her and Mandy. Garrett tells Emily that Amanda wants to say goodbye before she leaves. Adam sees how handsome Amanda's father is, and his grin makes Emily know he is insinuating something, but she tells him to stop and follows Garrett. By the time Emily catches up with Garrett, she sees Mandy handing him her card for any future butterfly party, and she leaves when Emily moves close. He hands back Emily's flyers, but she asks him to hold one so that he can help put it in his office. Garrett thanks her for the extra butterflies and tells her she is sorry about how things went. He understands the situation and calls Amanda to say goodbye. He does, however, call Emily a nice lady, which makes Emily think that is how he sees her. Amanda says that the party was great and gives Emily a hug to show her appreciation. Amanda's departure makes room for Garrett and Emily to talk more, which is what Emily wants. His phone rings, so he has to leave, ending their conversation. Disappointed, Emily has no option but to take her leave. Emily is back at home with Adam, who is helping her analyze who the call Garrett received might be from. Emily thinks it is his girlfriend, but Adam is trying to convince her otherwise. He thinks she is making progress because he senses that she is growing fond of Garrett, and she acknowledges that he is cute and kind but not available. Suddenly, Larry walks in and tells them to bake. Larry is Emily's dad, and he is only there to keep her from overthinking and to help her find a new boyfriend. Seeing where the conversation is heading, Adam excuses himself by saying he has a date. This then leaves Emily and her dad alone, and she has no option but to join her dad in baking. In the next scene, Emily brings a new stock of butterflies from the farm to her butterfly house. Adam is worried about the numbers. There is an order for 200 butterflies coming in a few weeks, but they do not know how many they will have. Adam wants to know if they can go a few short, but Emily has to follow a code that says they have to give the customer the exact numbers. He then suggests that they get help from outside and get a new compressor. Later, Garrett and Amanda drive down to the butterfly house. Emily takes a moment to calm down before meeting them outside. He apologizes for intruding and wants to explain why they are there, but Amanda stops him because she wants to explain the details to Emily directly. Amanda explains that she has been more interested in butterflies since her birthday, and she would like to use butterflies in her project. Garrett tries to explain again, but Amanda makes sure she stops him and continues yapping. Emily invites them in while also introducing Adam to them again. She begins to explain what they do to Amanda while sounding apprehensive. She shows them where to wash their hands and where the butterflies are kept in the house. Amanda seems to have enough knowledge about butterflies already because she has done her research. Smart kid. While she is talking, she compliments Emily, saying that she is pretty and that her dad thinks so as well. There is a slight awkwardness as Garrett finds Amanda's statement surprising. Kids have no filter. Adam then spends a brief moment with Emily simply to let her know he is correct after all. She dismisses his remarks, claiming he is worse than the child. After that, Emily keeps talking about butterflies, and Amanda keeps demonstrating her own level of expertise. Adam suggests Garrett and Amanda help them out at their next event, and Amanda is happy to accept it. Emily is shocked by the suggestion from Adam, but she accepts it. At that moment, she gets a call from Rebecca O'Keefe, a well-known person. She thinks at first that the person on the other end of the line is playing a joke on her before she realizes that she is really talking to Rebecca. Rebecca is insistent on seeing her because Emily needs to deliver butterflies for her. When Emily hears how many butterflies she needs, she gets scared, but she still makes plans to meet her. She then goes to the team and tells them that Rebecca wants her to release 500 butterflies during her marriage ceremony, which is coming soon. This raises concerns as Adam doesn't know how they will produce that many butterflies. In the next scene, Emily is with Rebecca, and she is giving her the details of the wedding and informing her that she will be dealing with her directly. Rebecca mentions that what she needs is at least 500 butterflies, and that whoever can deliver the most will get the job. She then explains that it is a competition between her and Mandy. Although it will be a bit of a challenge, Emily proudly proclaims that she is the one for the job. No backing out when her rival is involved. Getting back home, Adam is anxious because he knows Mandy does not follow rules to achieve her goals. Besides, he is surprised that Emily accepted the deal. She says that she has no choice but to agree because Rebecca herself planned it. And besides, she has no plan to lose the deal that will make her trend. With no choice but a way forward, they start strategizing on the best way to achieve the goal. They quickly plan where to get more caterpillars that will hatch early, so they can be delivered before Mandy does. She then remembers they will also need to deliver 200 as planned before. She thinks they need more help with this. Following this, she goes to where Garrett and Amanda are to work with them on her next plans. Amanda and Garrett are already there waiting for her when she gets out of the car. Emily and Amanda are the ones in charge of the butterflies with the kids. Garrett, however, goes to get coffee for himself and Emily. They leave Amanda to handle things alone with the kids while they excuse themselves. These few minutes give Emily and Garrett a chance to think and learn more about each other. She learns Garrett is from a rich family. He reverted back to living with his parents after chasing a relationship that did not work, and because his father needed him back in New York. Garrett does not sound happy about going back, and Emily can tell. He says it is because he likes doing things independently. He is not the tie-knotting person his father wants him to be. Knowing that they will be moving back to New York in a couple of weeks breaks Emily's heart, but she hides it well. She then offers him work since he says he is good with mechanical work. Just then, Garrett receives a call from Jill again and excuses himself. This makes her feel uncomfortable. In the next scene, Emily is with her dad. They are cooking, and her dad notices the expression on her face. He knows no one can give her that expression except a guy, and he asks her who the guy is. She then tells him he is sorry for making her feel bad every time they talk about relationships. Emily claims she loves her life and does not need a guy to complete her, but she still asks her dad how she will know who the right guy is. Her dad tells her nobody knows when they are ready. She reveals she thought she met a guy, and it is the first time in a while she is feeling anything, but she thinks he has a girlfriend, and he will be moving away to New York very soon. Her dad is glad to see that Emily is at least ready to feel emotions again, but Emily is not sure how she feels and brings up her ex-boyfriend Randy. According to her father, she is the one who was brave when she was in a relationship with Randy. Although she believes she made a mistake, her father reassures her that mistakes are inevitable in life. He adds that when people do not try, that is the only time they make mistakes. Finally, Emily opens up about Garrett to her father, who advises her that if the relationship is meant to be, Garrett will not go anywhere. The next scene shows Garrett helping Emily fix some of the issues in her butterfly house. Amanda is also there, helping out with the butterflies. They decide to look for milkweed in the woods instead of buying it because it is cheaper to do so. While Emily is guiding them in getting the milkweed, she and Garrett spend some time alone together. He gets a message from his dad, which makes them talk about how eager both their dads are for them to get married. Garrett asks Emily if she has any prospects, but all she can say is that it is a long story. Emily also asks him if he has any prospects, and he mentions that it is complicated. Emily then ends the conversation by saying she likes to think the world works things out the way they are meant to be. A butterfly flies while they are talking, and Emily tells him it is a mariposa, which is the Spanish name for butterfly. This is also Emily's last name. Although this small talk makes them feel giddy, they do not say anything about it. Amanda, on the other hand, is busy catching butterflies with a net. Emily brings a pop-up for Amanda to Garrett's house as promised. Garrett opens the door for her. He tells her to come eat with him because he has just finished cooking. After the meal, Emily compliments his cooking. Emily reveals they need to expand the butterfly house, and Garrett offers to help out. They hear the doorbell ring while they are talking. Could it be another woman? Yeah, it is. Jill is the one at the door, and she invites herself in. She was not supposed to come until next week, but she has cleared her schedule. She enters, kisses Garrett on the cheek even when he is not willing, and asks for Amanda. Emily is seeing all that is happening, which puts her in an awkward situation. Jill comes in straight away, and before Amanda can show her the butterfly pop-up, she shows her the necklace she got from Portugal. Jill then notices Emily and asks who she is. Just as Garrett introduces her, she tells them she is leaving. Garrett feels bad and follows her to explain things to her, but she claims it is fine. Her hopes for romance are crushed. Emily leaves the building sad, but she does not want Garrett to see her. He is also not happy with the situation, but goes back inside. Emily and Mandy both visit Rebecca to finalize their business with her. She tells them when she wants the butterflies released and asks how many they can give her. Mandy says she can release 1,000, which Emily says is impossible. Rebecca, on the other hand, believes that nothing is impossible and instructs them to notify her of the number of butterflies they can have a day in advance, after which she will make her decision. Emily finds this awkward, but since Mandy has no objections to Rebecca's plan, she is forced to agree. The next scene shows Garrett helping Emily with her butterfly house expansion project. Toward the end of the day, he becomes distracted by Emily and hits his hand with a hammer. A little price to pay for attraction. Emily has him stop working for the day to tend to his wounds. Later at night, Emily and Garrett are having coffee. She talks about the things at stake for her business and its relation to the project for Rebecca, emphasizing that she will not let Mandy beat her. While they are talking, they look into each other's eyes. Emily feels like it is getting too intense, so she gets up and tells Garrett how he looks at her. She is confused because of the presence of Jill in his life. Garrett then explains that Jill is his ex, explaining how they only stayed friends because she has been a big part of Amanda's life, but he does not have a girlfriend. He also explains that it was the distance that broke them up, but she is now available and back in New York. This is why his dad wants him to come to New York and reconcile things with her, as she is a role model for Amanda. He is not sure if Jill has feelings for him that he does not know, and it bothers him. When Garrett leaves, Emily starts pondering a few things. She sees a butterfly pass by and flies away, a symbolic representation of how Garrett might leave her. She is so deep in her thoughts that she does not hear a word from Adam, who enters to give her a breakdown of what he's been up to. She explains the situation to him. He asks her how she feels when she is with Garrett, and Emily responds that she always has butterflies in her stomach, and so Adam advises her not to let him fly away. In the next scene, Garrett is outside his house thinking, and Jill comes with one of his favorite drinks. She asks him if he is packed, but he mentions how it is not fair for her to come back into his life like nothing happened. Jill can sense he is acting this way because of Emily, but he clarifies, insisting nothing is going on between him and Emily. Jill reveals she has submitted a school application for Amanda at her alma mater. This surprises Garrett because she should have discussed this type of decision with him. Before he could argue further, Amanda joins them to talk about a caterpillar she had seen recently. Jill then takes her leave. In another scene, while Garrett is working for Emily, they start playing. Before long, they find themselves rolling on mud and grass. While on the grass, Emily asks him for an update on his decision, and he says he will have to decide what is best for Amanda, even though he does not know what makes her happy. Emily argues that he already understands what brings his daughter joy. Emily is waiting for Garrett at home, all dressed up, and Adam can't help but compliment her. They hear a knock on the door, which Emily thinks is Garrett, but to her surprise, Rebecca comes in, complaining that Emily is not picking up her calls. She then tells her that she needs to increase her butterfly order to 1501 because her friend released 1500 at her wedding. She urges her to say yes, and just to beat Mandy, pointing out how Mandy will say yes to everything she says just to win. Emily does not want to agree because it's too much, but Adam helps her decide when Rebecca talks about mentioning her in a popular magazine. The next scene shows Emily with Garrett. While talking, he says he and Amanda will assist her in managing her party while she goes to get caterpillars. This amazes her, and she can't help but express her appreciation. However, this just hammers home the fact that she's going to miss him even more when he leaves. Emily goes hunting for more caterpillars, while Garrett and Amanda handle her party. After this, they all come back to the butterfly house, where they get updates about their activities and set the caterpillars in their new homes. While doing this, Amanda and Emily start having a moment where they talk about Sarah, Amanda's late mom. This moment creates a more solemn connection between Emily and Amanda. Emily assures Amanda that her mom is watching over her, and she is proud of her. After that, Emily and Garrett proceed to conceal the person who will release the butterflies behind a decorated flower arrangement. After their hard work, Emily offers to buy Garrett lunch, which he accepts gladly. She takes him to a serene place to have a burger, and while eating, he asks her how she found the place. She then explains that she was once engaged. This leads her to narrate her past relationship and how it ended. She is now seeing the place in a whole new light, because it does not bother her anymore. When they get back home, Emily sees her dad's car, and this makes her invite Garrett in. Instead of Garrett coming in to make things better for her, it only makes things worse, as her dad just keeps talking about Emily having a crush on him and how she has been talking about him. He also asks him if he thinks she is lovely. Garrett thinks she is, but has not told her because things are complicated. However, Emily's dad comments that things are only complicated until they are not. Emily is then saved by the phone, but it bears terrible news. They rush to the butterfly house, where they get the information that they lost half of the caterpillars. They then need to separate those that are not infected and start making plans to get over 700 butterflies to reach their quota of 1500. Emily and Adam start calling people who can help them get more caterpillars. After calling everyone they can, they are still short of 400, which means Emily has no choice but to go to Mandy, even though she knows it will be painful. Emily and Garrett go to Mandy's house, and she is surprised to see them. Mandy argues with Emily about stealing Rebecca from her, but Emily reveals she was just chosen. Garrett, sensing that their argument might take a while, tries to make them focus on the matter at hand. Emily then tells her about the 400 missing butterflies they need. Mandy does not want to sell her caterpillars, but Emily proposes a partnership with her, which shocks them. She gives Mandy the condition that she actually put effort into learning about butterflies properly. At this point, she also realizes they have more in common than they could have imagined. However, even with their combined efforts, they are still 100 butterflies short. This means they need to capture ones in the wild. Garrett suggests talking to Amanda's teacher to lend them a hand. The teacher can mobilize the students to gather butterflies since his daughter is doing a project on butterflies. In the next scene, Emily gathers the kids together to orient them on the assignment of picking caterpillars from the wild. The kids excitedly run into the field to help pick them up. When they're done, they separate the new caterpillar from the old ones they have, and they wait, hope, and pray it turns out well. Emily, Adam, Mandy, and Garrett are all together in the butterfly house when Garrett's phone rings, and it is Jill. He excuses himself and steps outside. Getting outside, Garrett receives the news that Amanda has been accepted at the school she was enrolled in, and Garrett's father is happy. This means she has spoken with his father without informing him first. It's obvious Jill's specialty is making inconsiderate decisions. Later in the day, Garrett is sitting alone when Emily approaches him. She notices his mood and inquires about the situation, only for him to inform her that he and his daughter will be moving to New York in the coming week. He feels like it is the best decision for Amanda, and also apologizes because he won't make it to the wedding, but he will help out until the day he leaves. The subsequent scene shows them looking at the caterpillars as they develop into butterflies. Finally, they celebrate the success of having enough butterflies with a glass of wine. Garrett also thanks her for including him and Amanda in the project. Amanda hugs Emily and tells her she will miss her. After Garrett bids them all farewell, Emily leads them outside to their vehicle. It is difficult for Emily and Garrett to say goodbye to each other, and even when they hug, they feel like they should not let go of each other. He then drives away with Amanda. While Jill, Amanda, and Garrett are packing, Jill receives a call. Later, she tells Garrett about it being a work proposal for her in Barcelona, which sounds interesting, but she is not taking it. This makes Garrett feel uncomfortable. The next scene is Rebecca's wedding. Emily, Adam, and Mandy are standing by to release the butterflies at the set time. Finally, they release the beautiful creatures as the couple is pronounced husband and wife. Rebecca happily announces that over 1,500 butterflies have been released into the wild. Everyone is excited but not Emily, even though she claims she feels great when Mandy asks her. However, she is pleasantly surprised when she sees Amanda and Garrett coming from afar. She heads over to greet them. Amanda shows her the butterfly, which she named Sarah in honor of her mother, and plans to release it to join the other butterflies. She then lets Sarah go, thus fulfilling the 1501 flying butterflies that were intended for this event. Amanda follows the butterfly, and this gives Garrett and Emily a chance to talk. He explains they are back because Emily's heart never left his mind, whatever this means. He confesses his love for her, and they move closer to each other and kiss. Right now, Emily must have 1501 butterflies in her stomach by now.